welcome. This is Web TV at the Africa CEO Forum Summit 2024, and I will now be speaking with Nelly Mukazayire, Deputy CEO at the Rwanda Development Board, and Olivier Buyoya, Regional Director, West Africa at the International Finance Corporation. Of course, both institutions very heavily involved in bringing these conversations to light. I would like to welcome you both. Thank you so much for making time.
Thank you. Thank you.
So this conversation is about the best of. So I'll just go quickly in. What has stood out for you? What has the experience been so far over the last 2 days? Let's start with you.
Thank you very much. I think as Rwanda, this is the first time we are hosting the Africa CEO Forum. And this experience for sure has been even better than what we had in 2019. I really enjoyed the presence. You know, to this time we have 2,200 delegates attending this session, and the caliber of CEOs we have in the forum, the discussions, the topics that were discussed are really at the core of topics to be discussed for the future of Africa and the future of the global world. And then also the whole enthusiasm, exhibition, conversations with heads of states, policymakers. We're going to still have a panel of heads of states in this evening, which shows the magnitude and the commitment that is in this forum. But also particularly in the economy, it's also what it brings in the economy. Having all these people, hotels are full, we're having people in restaurants. So there's revenue that is coming in the economy and the whole value chain that you can imagine around it.
Thank you, Nelly. You know, I'm from Kenya, and we have been thinking, why is this not coming to our home? So we're a little jealous, but also very proud that that this summit is in the region. Olivier, I'll come to you. Of course, the IFC has been heavily involved. We've seen some big deals coming through as well. What has been the highlight of this year's forum for you?
Thank you. Thank you for having me. First, let me, since I have the pleasure to share this interview with the Deputy Managing Director of Rwanda Development Board, it's an opportunity on behalf of the IFC to thank the Rwandan government, the Rwanda Development Board, for a fantastic hospitality for all the participants. The CEO Forum, it's about a statement that the African private sector is making to the world. And we are very, very proud at the IFC to be a co-host. The objective really, it's for us, in the context of a number of crises going on in Africa, it's about also the narrative. We have here in Africa vibrant private sectors. Many countries actually, particularly those countries that are going through crises. I cover West Africa, I cover the Sahel countries. When you look at the news, the narrative is sometimes pessimistic. When you come to CEO Forum, you have a different picture. And you meet with people who are investing every day, creating jobs, leveraging technology. We had financial institutions, global, regional financial institutions. We have distributors, technologies. We have companies in different industries, from pharmaceutical to infrastructure. They are all here to talk about business, to talk about jobs, to talk about profits, to talk about really taking our continent to the next level. So we are actually very fortunate to be part of this event. Indeed, it was in Kigali this year. Last year was in Abidjan and Côte d'Ivoire. And the idea is also to show the diversity of opportunities on our continent. So we are very, very happy, and we had many signings. Many projects got signed, and it's a statement. We want to convey that message of optimism, that indeed, while there are indeed other challenges that are being faced, there are opportunities. And I'll end to what my colleague said. It's also a forum where private and public stakeholders can engage, can discuss. We will have the head of states panels where they will discuss about challenges faced by private sector players. And from those discussions also can emerge solutions that can help address some of those challenges.
All right. I also want to know a little bit about the role that both your organizations have played within the Africa CEO Forum, and you have alluded to it slightly in the comments that you have just made. But as we come to the end of the summit after 2 days, what are your takeaways as the RDB? All of the, goalposts that you had in as far as the summit is concerned, have they been achieved? And what are you taking out of this for both of you?
Thank you very much. I'll start by saying that as RDB, on behalf, of course, of the government of Rwanda, we've been working with Jeune Afrique Group for the organization of this summit because mainly I would say 3 reasons. One, as a country, we believe in the power of private sector for economic development and economic transformation. We're a country where leadership is intentional in setting and playing its role, but we know that the role of private sector is primordial in every aspect you would want to. So such a forum, and I want on that note to even appreciate Amir and his team for the idea and the work they put behind that. And that's why, as RDB representing government in Rwanda, we proudly partnered with them to be a host country, but also a sponsor in this event. So because we believe in that, we believe in the cause that is behind setting such a platform. But we also believe in the impact that comes out of these conversations. And indeed, topics that range from the role of leadership, the accountability of leadership. These are topics that are not conventional in discussions, accountability of leaders, but also of private sector, captains of industry. The role each one has to play in going in sectors which have not been sectors that are used to be the sectors in Africa, going in pharmaceutical, going in IT innovation, going in automobile, and so forth. So all those are also ideas that we share with the platform. But also, thirdly, is also the impact that comes after. Because when we sit together as Africans, we've also realized that this is time that we find solutions for ourselves. So discussing about our solutions in Africa is one of the statements, because it has happened for so many years that topics that matters for Africa are discussed out of Africa. So calling it a CEO Africa Forum, it's not only Africans, it brings also the rest of the world, but we are talking on matters that are of our concerns. Particularly for Rwanda, it's important to us because it also attracts people to come and be with us and let even people know Rwanda even more. He mentioned something about narrative. We're a country that knows very well how much a narrative on a certain nation can hinder, and another side of narrative can open doors. So all those are reasons why we are proudly partnering with this, and those are benefits we saw into it. So speaking of benefits, yes, we can confidently say that this has really met the benefits we're looking for. Beyond, of course, there's follow-up. Discussions happen, but what next? We've also been able to meet different people who are interested to invest in Rwanda, or even us getting opportunities in other countries. So the aftermath gives a prospect that goes in line with our orientation, strategic areas of development and transformation.
All right, thank you so much. Olivier, as we wind up?
No, I think she said it all, really. And I think I would like to insist on this element of having this type of gathering in Africa. Actually, it's an opportunity to, again, also thank Jeune Afrique because they had the idea 11 years ago. It's interesting because 11 years ago, the first CEO forum was in Geneva. So all along, over the last few years, we have actually discussed and worked extensively with our friends from Jeune Afrique to have this event on the continent. 1 year is in West Africa, and 1 year is in East Africa. Maybe next time is hopefully Kenya. But what really matters is actually the message that we are sending across. And that's what I want. That's my takeaway. Yeah. The vibe, the energy, the enthusiasm that you could feel in those rooms. But it's also an opportunity for different stakeholders from different parts of the world to exchange on what's working elsewhere, bring solutions. I think what our continent needs today, it's solutions, ideas, because we have all it takes to implement them. Yeah. Rwanda is a good example, and in many sectors. For many years, we were told that we don't have human capital, we don't have financing, we don't have. Today, leveraging technology and leveraging the political will that we will be hearing some head of states in a few minutes. What now we need is connecting people who have the enthusiasm, the drive to bring solutions to the development problems. And let me end there. As far as we are concerned, IFC is part of the World Bank Group. Ultimately, what we are trying to do is to connect and use private sector as a conduit to solve development challenges in health, in agriculture, food security, energy, water, access to water. We think, and that's a conviction that we share with RDB, that private sector can be a conduit to solve development challenges in our countries.
All right. Thank you so much. We'll wrap it now. I know you both have to run to the presidential session that's just starting, and apologies, you could hear some sound testing being done in the background. That's in preparation for the presidential panel that will be kicking off just now. So Nelly Mukazayire, Deputy CEO of the Rwanda Development Board, and Olivier Buyoya, Regional Director, West Africa at the International Finance Corporation. Thank you so much, and do enjoy the panel.
Thank you very much also for this platform.
And thank you, Kigali, for having us.
Always. You're always welcome.